Today we are looking at Medicare Levy. Now, Medicare Levy is it's basically a form of tax that is paid to the government to run Australia's healthcare system. So most workers in Australia will pay 2% of their taxable income. Now, that rate is current at the moment in March 2020. It has been current for about 3 years, but it does change. It used to be 1.5%. It has gone up to 2%, as I said, about 3 years ago, and there has been talk of raising it even further. Okay. Now, in terms of where you find Medicare Levy in maths questions, it's usually included as part of multi-step questions. So you'll usually see Medicare Levy attached to questions where you need to work out a person's taxable income and their tax payable using a tax table. Okay. So it's really important to understand that the Medicare Levy is paid in addition to income tax. So the tax tables are used to work out how much income tax is payable for the worker, and the Medicare Levy is then paid on top of that. So it's a separate calculation. So I want to take you through a question that I've got here that does actually use a tax table, and it is a multi-part question. So this is the kind of question you're most likely to see on Medicare Levy if you are presented with it in an exam. Okay, so during the 2018-19 financial year, Richard earned $1,050 per week, which is $54,600 per annum. He has receipts for $375 for work-related expenses and charity donations. Okay, so what that means is he can deduct $375 from his earnings to calculate his taxable income. So what it means is he's not going to pay tax on that $375. Okay, so to calculate his taxable income, we take his earnings, which were $54,600, and we subtract the $375, and that gives us $54,225. Now, it's not an issue in this question, but it is worth noting that taxable income is only whole dollar amounts. So had he earned $54,225.85, he doesn't pay tax on that 85 cents. The tax table is only interested in the whole number amount. So if you earn part of $1, you basically get that tax-free. Okay, so it's only on whole dollar amounts. So now, using a tax table, calculate Richard's tax payable. So remember, if you're asked to calculate tax payable, you will always use a tax table, and you will always be given the tax table. You will not be expected to memorize the tax table. Okay, so I've just got a quick dodgy copy of one here. So Richard's taxable income is $54,225. So that means he fits into this tax bracket here. So he's between $37,001 and $87,000. So this row tells us how much tax he must pay, and we need to calculate that. So we're told he pays $3,572 plus 32.5 cents for every dollar over $37,000. And that's what we need to calculate now. Okay. So, just going to get rid of that because you can't see it anyway. His tax payable, all right, always label what it is that you are finding. Tax payable is equal to, as the table tells us, 3,572 plus 32.5 cents for every dollar over 37,000. So 3,572. 2, not 5, plus, now 32.5 cents we need to write in dollars, so that's going to be $0.325 multiplied by, now the difference between his taxable income and 37,000. So I'm just going to put that subtraction into our calculation. So his taxable income was 54,225, and we want to know how many over 37,000. Okay, so then we can just calculate that all in one go. All right, pop it in our calculator, and we get his tax payable of $9,170.13. So that's how much tax he owes to the government. So remember, that's his income tax. it does not include the Medicare levy. Medicare levy is calculated separate. So then that brings us to the next part of our question. Richard also needs to pay the Medicare levy of 2%. How much does he need to pay? So remembering, Medicare levy is calculated on taxable income. So it's going to be 2% of 54,225. So 0.02 gives us 2% multiplied by 54,225, and that is $1,084.50. So what that tells us, Richard owes his tax payable of $9,170.13. He also owes Medicare levy of $1,084.50. Okay, they need to be paid together. So brings us to usually the ending question on any taxable income tax payable question. Basically, we want to work out, has Richard paid too much tax or not enough? So throughout the financial year, an employer will keep money from the employee as part of their tax. It's called PAYG, or pay-as-you-go tax. It just basically means that the employee never actually sees their tax money. It's not like at the end of the year they get a big $10,000 bill. They've already paid, hopefully they've already paid all of it. Sometimes they haven't quite paid enough, and that's what we're being asked to work out here. So during the financial year, Richard's employer sent a total of $7,797 in PAYG tax to the ATO. ATO is Australian Tax Office, of course. Has Richard paid too much or not enough? Calculate the refund or liability. So hopefully from the previous questions, you can see he's already not paid enough tax. His tax payable was $9,170. So even without the Medicare levy, Richard has not paid enough tax. So we know just by looking at it, he is going to owe the tax office money. We just need to work out how much. Okay, so his total owing is going to be, as I said, his tax payable, which is 9170.13, plus his Medicare levy, which is 1084.50, which is a total of $10,254.63. Okay, in the question, it told us his employer paid that much. His employer paid less than Richard actually owes. So what that means is he is going to owe money. He has a tax liability he has to pay. We just need to work out how much. Okay, so he's not paid enough. So it's always good to just point out, even if you think it's obvious, make sure the person who's marking your work knows that you know it's obvious. Okay, he's not paid enough, and so he owes now $10,254.63 minus what his employer already paid on his behalf, which gives us a difference of $2,457.63. Now that's not unusual. There's lots of different reasons why someone may end up owing that much tax. It can be as simple as earning extra money that tax wasn't paid on. So he may have earned bank interest, or he may have done some jobs on the side that he didn't actually pay tax on. So yeah, there's a few different reasons, but it's not out of the ordinary to be owing that much tax at the end of the year. Hopefully that was helpful and cleared up the difference between Medicare levy and tax payable. Give it a thumbs up if it was helpful, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you get notified when I upload new videos.